This is a very heterosexual environment.
I know. Are you out of your element right now?
The set is reflecting the values of the host.
You know what, though? It's funny because it's all about identity with, we say the left, and that's if you want to, go on the default battle lines of the left and the right. It really is all about identity with the left. And they don't understand, for someone like you or me or anybody, it's like, we don't really care what your identity is. Like, oh, you're black, you're white, you're Asian. It's like, we don't really care. It's like, who are you?
Unless I'm dating.
That's a different issue.
I have a very strict policy.
Which you'll have to answer to the press, whatever your dating preferences are. I'm sure that they have questions about that. But when I come on the air and you're like, oh, wow, heterosexual environment, it's like, we're just joking. We don't care.
Well, we don't care, but we do it because it's funny. We do it because we like to irritate and to draw attention to the absurdity of identity politics, and we do it because it's enjoyable rubbing the left's nose in the ludicrously counterfactual, profoundly anti-intellectual idea that your skin color, your sexuality, your gender, or some other characteristic that you were born with that you have no control over says something about your moral or political character. It's stupid and insulting and demeaning and patronizing. It's patronizing to gay people, it's patronizing to blacks, and it's patronizing to women. And increasingly, it isn't true either. You're seeing all the time people are breaking the chains that the left has created for them with identity politics. Women's, I think the last election permanently killed the idea that women are wedded to the left, which is precisely why they had to do the hysterical women's march, because too many women had come out for Trump. Same thing's happening with ethnic minorities. Same thing's happening with gays. The coolest party at the Republican National Convention last year was the Gays for Trump party. And loads of people showed up who were not gay because they enjoyed the fact that it was, a fun expression of whatever. They enjoyed that it was annoying the left. But most of all, and this is the real reason we do it, because it underscores a critical difference between the modern political left and political right, which is that they care about superficial, skin-deep characteristics. We care about ideas.
Well, and I just realized, listening to you say that, when you have homosexuals that want to speak at a Republican platform, or someone would say a conservative platform, it's not about, oh, look at me, I'm a victim, I want to get married, I want to have a cake. It's about, here's real issue. That's what it is, though. That's what they do. But these people actually care about it. So I don't know if you read this story or heard about this. Harvard just announced a new president. Okay. Now, there's a problem, though. You see, the New York Times is reporting on this, and they've got a problem here, Milo, because the new president of Harvard
is he white?
Is a white male.
Oh no!
I know
that was a terrible mistake,
right? Because you shouldn't choose someone, based on their merit and character. It's all about their identity.
No, you need to choose the paraplegic, Muslim, disabled, lesbian, illegal immigrant, because
that's bisexually gender fluid.
Yes, it's so annoying. Look, I'm very gay, and I don't give a stuff who is gay in elected politics. Donald Trump is not gay, and I don't care whether he has said things in private. What I care about is closing down immigration from countries where everybody wants to kill me, which he's doing for a variety of reasons, but that's stuff that actually matters. That's real stuff.
See, that's what I was getting to earlier when I made the joke about the cake. The Democrats will bring up a gay person and he'll say, I didn't get a cake. I want to get married. And it's all like this identity issue where
actually, it's more like, I didn't get a cake. I want to get married.
Where's my cake? Is that better?
No. You got to speak from your nose. I didn't get a cake.
Like Jake Tapper?
Yeah. Just a little bit more adenoidal.
That's a separate. Actually, I want to get into that.
I didn't get a cake and I really want to get married. And I just feel like if I don't get a cake, I can't get married. If I somehow I just feel like really discriminated against because I didn't get a cake, then I feel like my union isn't real. And I feel like this is just a perpetuation of homophobia in America. And to be honest with you, I've never felt comfortable being who I am, and I just think it's everybody else's fault. And if I can make some Christians cry and cost them their business and make sure their kid drops out of college, then maybe I feel a little bit better about being.
Oh, and then Michael Moore and everyone says, "Yay, you're so intellectual, you're so great." But then if you
corpulent half-wit,
but you actually will get invited to speak for yourself while you did the Dangerous Faggot tour, or you can go speak at a conservative event.
It's much more important to talk about immigration. It's much more important to talk about freedom of speech, the First and the Second Amendment, because that's the underpinning architecture of Western civilization, and those are the things that create societies in which we're all better off and that we're happier to live in. Who cares about this minutiae? And it's a strategy that the left deploys to keep you from paying attention to the really important stuff. Transgender pronouns, nobody cares about transgender pronouns. The people telling you what pronouns to use don't care about transgender pronouns. What they want to do is suck up all the oxygen so you don't think about or talk about anything else.
Well, and that's why you're so dangerous. That's why they block you on Twitter and they try to censor you, because they want to have all these people that are obsessed with their identity, whether it be you're gay or you're black or you're this or that or the other thing, whatever it is. They want you to just be obsessed with that so that that becomes your number one issue. So
well, your only issue. Your only issue.
Exactly. So you can't have an intellectual conversation about other issues because you're just totally focused on this one issue.
But this reduction of everybody to that one essentialized characteristic about them is the reason that I say that this is patronizing. The worst thing that they do of all is what they do to people who step outside the consensus, as your question hinted at. It's worse for women, actually. It's the worst of all for women, because the feminist movement is by far the most established and most powerful and
nasty too.
And nastiest, exactly. The nastiest bit of the left. It's the most spiteful and vicious bit of the left. Women who go off reservation get a far worse time of it than I ever have. You think about people like Pamela Geller, Ann Coulter, and then think about how the left talks about dead female leaders, whether it is Margaret Thatcher or live politicians like Sarah Palin. The level of like just grotesque hatred that is hurled at her. Mine pales in comparison, frankly, and I get a lot. So, you know, it's conservative blacks, of course, get it very bad because that's a real like live third rail. It's like, how could you possibly betray the legacy of your blah, 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 blah. And then you've got somebody like Thomas Sowell or Clarence Thomas who can flatten these, you know.
And Clarence Thomas was just on Fox News saying victimhood is the biggest problem.
Yeah, you know what they did to him afterwards? Jill Abramson, former editor at the New York Times, did a piece for New York Magazine reviving discredited ancient allegations made against Clarence Thomas by Anita Hill. And here's the thing, as revenge. So they're trying to get him removed from the Supreme Court.
They're saying the New York
and he's
Times.
Black. He's a black Supreme Court judge. He should be the crowning glory. I mean, you can get elected president. Who cares? Supreme Court judges are way more important than presidents.
Longer than a president.
Way more important than presidents. You have to be a lot smarter. And you have a lot more influence as well. And he's a black guy, and they're trying to get rid of him. Why? As revenge, because he's a conservative.
This is a homage beat. This is a homage beat.